I had this interesting memory pop into my head. I had a colleague of mine share with me a research study on empathy. And he said, what's really interesting is in the study, when they looked at empathy over people's generations and their life, he said, you start off with kind of lowish empathy in your early 20s, and then it gradually goes up and up and up and up. And then it comes to a point where right around 55, 60, it starts to kind of plateau and then drop off a little bit. And it's almost has to do with what you just shared, because we're not trying new things. We're not exposing ourselves to new things. We're getting more kind of rigid because we're maybe playing small, or we're getting stuck in a routine. It's just limiting our ability to grow even in that way. So I thought you really said some important points there.
Well, there's another empathy tie-in that just fascinates me, which is that we show less empathy for other people when we're feeling insecure ourselves. And so if I'm feeling like I'm really an imposter, psychologists call this the spotlight effect. And it basically says that I feel like there's a spotlight being shown on me, and it almost blinds me to everybody else in the room. And so because I'm paying so much attention to all of the stupid things I do, I assume everybody else is as well.
Right.
And so we also see the correlation there. And that's why part of the reason why empathy is so low when we're in those awkward teenage years and trying to grow up is because we're so self-focused. We can't really get out of our own way and see somebody else.
But what you're reminding us of is that while we think we're working with adults all day long, we may actually be working with kiddos at various ages and stages stuck in adult bodies.
Absolutely. Doesn't that explain a lot?
Sure does. Sure does. That's why no one will have lunch with me. I'm not cool enough. I'm not invited to the cool kids table. Oh, well.
No.
I'm
Never been a cool kid.
I'm used to it. That's pretty much my life. You get used to it. Okay, so you hit some really important points there. We play small, procrastination, stress, which we could also extend to anxiety, keeping people from trying new things. Boy, how do we start the process of overcoming that? So we get this feeling of, I don't know if I'm going to be successful in this role, or I don't really know what I'm doing, and I don't want anyone else to know. How do we start to push through that?
Well, I'm on the right podcast, because the very first thing we have to do is talk about it. It is absolutely something where if we don't have conversations where we're candid enough to say, man, I'd like to do this, but I'm really scared, or I'm doubting my ability to be able to take this on. If we don't have those conversations, we're going to keep making it bigger and bigger in our heads. But when we talk about it, it becomes more manageable. Not only that, oftentimes when I say something like, well, I'm kind of afraid to learn how to sew because I don't think I'll be very good at it, which, by the way, is true. I've postponed a sewing class 4 times now. But the whole idea of my just saying that out loud, we're laughing. And so if I can get to a point where I can make a joke of it, it puts me in charge. I have named my inner imposter. His name is Imposter McFraudy. It is a him. I don't know why. And just being able to look at yourself in the mirror and go, oh, hi, McFraudy's back. I know you. I have a girlfriend that I can text, and that's all I have to put in the text. McFraudy's back. And she has a name for hers too and can do the same for me. And so whenever we need to have the conversation around, this is scaring me, or I'm feeling like I might not take a chance, or I might be holding myself back, we talk about it. And that's made all the difference in the world. It's finding people who know you and believe in you realistically, right? You don't want somebody who tells you, oh, of course you can go be an astronaut, when that's not going to happen. But you need somebody who realistically knows who you are and what your accomplishments are and what you can do, and have them have that conversation with you that says, all right, you're being silly. Or we'll actually sit down and break down with you what you have to learn. And once you can get that written down, it's a lot easier, because then I can just check it off and off I go.